Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
Seriously, Dad?
Seriously, Dad? Two father comedians out of Philadelphia. Seriously, Dad?
Dad?
Seriously, Dad?
Seriously? Seriously?
Father's Day.
Father's Day. Seriously, Dad, Father's Day edition.
Yeah, well, so it's like this is the processing of Father's Day. Did you have a good Father's Day,
Good.
Albert?
Yeah, I had a good Father's Day. Very interesting Father's Day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so Sammy's like, hey, what are you doing for Father's Day? I didn't even know it was Father's Day. She said, what are you doing? I said, I don't know, just chilling. I didn't even know when Father's Day was. I was like, oh, it's this weekend. She's like, yeah, what do you want to do? I was like, nothing. I just go to the gym and come home and watch TV and chill. So she's like, we're going to go to my mom's house. And I'm like, who the fuck is going to your mom's house? She's like, we'll go to my mom's. My mom wants to see us. And I'm like, no, that's cool, but like it's Father's Day. We can do what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to your mom's house. She's like, yeah, just go to my mom's house, right? And I was like, wow, you just signed me up to go to your mom's house, right? So I wake up, I go to the gym, I do all my stuff, and then she's like, meet me at my mom's house around 2:30. So I'm driving over. I'm like, this is the dumbest shit ever. I should have put my foot down. And, you know,
He's like early in the marriage.
yeah.
Gotta put my foot
Here I
down.
am just like being a little bitch, you know?
going on Father's Day to her,
To her
mother's
mom's house, exactly. It's like an hour away. I got to drive there and everything, right? So we get there, and Sammy's like, "Do you want any food?" And she keeps on saying, "Do you want to order pizza? Does anybody want pizza?"
Look at this body.
Yeah,
You
do
think he
pizza.
wants pizza?
Right. I'm like, no, I don't want pizza. But pizza was a code word for my daughters to jump out and surprise me.
Oh.
Yes. Because when you accept when you're like not there, you accept that there's going to be birthdays you don't see your kids, Father's Days that you don't see your
Yeah.
kids.
Oh, so you
I
weren't
was
supposed
like,
to have your
I didn't
kids.
expect to see. I didn't expect to see them.
Oh, but they duped you.
Yes,
That's cool.
So that was a phenomenal
See?
Father's Day.
That's a sweet. So that's awesome. That's great.
That was really nice. That was a good.
You
Father's
weren't
Day.
expecting. You were just
Oh
like,
no,
all
I
right,
wasn't
you
expecting to
put
see
to
him
bed
at all.
the fact that you weren't.
And I was actually thinking like, this is so dumb. I'm driving here. I'd much rather see the girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm thinking like, get rid of mine. Can we get rid of mine for the no? That's really cool. That's awesome.
No, it was great. It was really good. So I had a good Father's Day.
That's really cool. So my Father's Day was at the end of it anticlimactic, which I think it is because Mother's Day should take the cake. I get it. I had a gig up in Westchester, New York, which is kind of like where Matarese is.
Yeah.
Which is a long way away. It was like 3 hours with traffic, and but the place was cool. They got me a hotel that had a pool, and then so Amanda and the girls came up with me Saturday. And we got up there later, so I didn't get to go in the pool with them like I planned, but they got to go in the pool, and then we got to just kind of drive back slowly on Sunday. We went to IHOP for breakfast. That was, I hadn't been to an IHOP. Have you ever been to an IHOP?
I think years ago I'd probably been the one.
It's what you would think. It's got pancakes.
It's pancakes and breakfast shit.
And
Right?
funny enough, I didn't have any pancakes. I had eggs Benedict.
I mean, eggs
I've
are
never
a
had
better
eggs
option.
Benedict.
It's a better option.
It was pretty good.
Pancakes are fucking good. Pancakes are good.
My
Pancakes are so
daughter
fucking
had pancakes, and she might not have finished them, and somebody else might have had some of
Yeah,
them.
I mean pancakes are fucking
Yeah, but no, I was good. I was happy that they were able to kind of come on the way up. They were a nightmare, so I was like, oh, what are they going to be like on the way back? But they were really good. They did well on the way back because I want to do road trips, but I'm so nervous with how well they get along in the car.
No,
Like, do your girls get along well in the car? Have you
good.
had to
They're pretty good. They're good in the car.
Yeah.
But, so what makes you want to do road trips? Did you spend a lot of time in a car?
My wife and I, that was one of the things my wife and I did a lot of together when we were dating and engaged.
Okay.
And we drove down to Florida like 2 or 3 times. That
Oh
was,
shit! So you were like road dogging.
yeah.
I
and
remember spending a lot of time in the car too, but we never went to Florida.
Our 1-year anniversary was cool. We did a road trip basically to Chicago and back.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
what we did is we hit every baseball stadium
Oh, okay.
along the way,
Nice.
which was for me. But then for the day, as a history buff. So then during the day, we stopped off at like Lincoln's childhood home or
Okay.
Grant's house or whatever was in the area. We would go to TripAdvisor and we would just click what's near me. So we did it kind of. I like the spontaneity of it. We were just like,
that's
well,
good.
we'll click what's near us, and then like for food, we used to do They used to have an app for like the show on Food Network, the diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Oh, so you
and
were
so
hitting
then we
those
would try to
spots.
find a spot near us that was kind of like on that. It was just fun. That part I enjoy, and so that's the part of. That even with comedy, I hope to do with them. I hope that we can go on road trips. I hope we're going to go out to Kansas. I have a gig out there on August 11th, so we're going to do a last hurrah before the end of summer and do a road trip out to Kansas.
All
And
right.
Never been to Kansas. I was like,
I mean, it's probably pretty flat.
yeah,
Pretty flat space, but
I would imagine.
nah, that's cool.
yeah.
When we were younger, I remember being in the car a lot. But we drove from New York City. We would drive like to New Hampshire, New England. It's like that's where my dad family's.
You do
like-
the Dramamine or what?
You know what's funny? When I was a kid, I never did. My daughter, yes, I never took it. I just had a headache.
What about boats? Have you
No,
ever
no,
been on
boat.
a cruise ship?
I've never been on a cruise ship, but I'll get seasick.
My mom was the weirdest. Like she would only like if it was real choppy, she was fine. But on the cruise ship, it's ever so slight. Neil, have you ever been on a cruise? Ever
never
so
been on a cruise
slight. The rocking is like
Yeah, I was,
unnerving.
Right, I'm the opposite, but yeah. So the cruise ship I didn't have a problem with, but
Choppier.
choppier. I got to start like shoving down pretzels and like just trying to keep my stomach at bay.
And
to be
you ever
honest.
do the? I saw people on the cruise ship. They would put
Yeah.
this like little. I don't know if it was like a Band-Aid or something behind their ear.
There are
It's
methods.
supposed
Yeah.
to help with.
That,
Yeah,
like-
seasickness.
Alright.
It's just equilibrium, so your brain's not processing it in a way because it's thrown off, so it makes you feel nauseous.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm good.
Albert's like he's
So,
like
but
he's like a denier of the science. He's just like,
No,
all
I'm
right,
saying
man.
I'm cool.
I mean,
Like, I don't.
I
I
got it.
I
rather
bet you
be
being on a
sick.
cruise is really nice. I bet you it's really nice.
Yeah,
bet
I
you
didn't
it's
have a problem
beautiful
on the
waking
cruise
up in the
at all.
ocean with the sun. But a cruise is not for me, bro. Not
No,
my thing.
Is it because of the seasickness or is there other factors?
Being you're just in the middle of the ocean on this thing.
You're on a
and-
you're on a city in the middle of the ocean.
yeah,
though.
on this thing that you just hope everything
Well-
goes well, right? Like,
But it's
Right,
so
you're-
massive.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool. I mean, I love it because there's so much to do. We did
right,
it when
but
I was
you
a
could have
teenager.
done all that at like Atlantis or some shit too, couldn't you have? Like at
Yeah,
a resort.
At a
yeah,
resort.
but I like the. Yeah, I do like the. My mom was on a cruise ship. I forget which company. It might have been like Royal Caribbean.
The love boat. Sorry.
It actually broke down. The engine broke in the
Yeah,
middle
see,
of the ocean.
I got time for that.
She
shit.
went Delta.
Yeah, she went Delta. She was flying Spirit.
She was
But they had to
cruising Spirit.
fly an engine out from Italy.
Wow.
And like
Ferrari.
and repair it in the like while they're in the
Get
ocean.
the fuck out of here.
Wow.
So
How many more days did that take? What did that add?
They were
to-
out there for the whole week, the whole vacation. They were just sitting at
were just
the
sitting-
spot. So they all got their money refunded. Everything on
course.
the ship was free for the entire time they were
Right.
there.
There you gotta.
And then they got half off another cruise.
Wow. All
So
right.
she had a great time. She was like they didn't. I mean, you just didn't get to go to the spots.
But you woke up every day on the fucking ocean.
Yeah, but
See
you're
the
like in
sun
the
come up?
casino, so you didn't know what's going on. You're
I
in
mean,
the
I love.
casino.
I did go on an Alaskan cruise. The only problem with like an Alaskan cruise, or like I should say, if you're gonna do a cruise, you can get it where you're seeing beautiful spots, especially like those river cruises in
Yeah.
Europe. You know, where those cruises aren't, technically, you know, they're coming into the ocean, but they're in these vast kind of things. So they're hopping from town to town in Europe, stopping at different European locations along like those rivers. But for I haven't done a Caribbean where it's like you're at a different island each day.
Yeah, you'd have like
Yeah.
a day at sea,
Because-
and then you'd get to the
Yeah.
next day, you'd port for the day, whatever.
Yeah, because if you go for a cruise where it's like you might have 2 or 3 nights like on the ship where you're not hitting anything new, then the cruise starts to feel like it's just like a Dave and Buster's. It just feels like you're just like everything's
Like
a
you're trapped on
buffet.
a-
People
like
are
you're trapped on a Dave and
monsters.
Dude,
Right.
you were on the deck
Oh
on
yeah,
the
it's got to
Lido.
be horrible. It's got to be horrible.
No, you're on the Lido deck, and at 3:00 they come around with hot chocolate chip cookies and a dude wearing like a Ghostbusters backpack with milk, and he's just like serving you milk and cookies
Yeah.
on the Lido deck. It's amazing.
That's pretty funny.
Dude, it
That's
was
pretty
fun. It's
funny.
funny the luxury.
I
The
think that'd be so
luxury.
expensive to run those things. That'd be
So they
there's
yeah,
gotta be
well, and
something-
I got to imagine that they pay for themselves pretty quickly because
they're
of
pretty wasteful too.
because
That's the other
like
thing on
their
those
turn the
things, right?
turnaround on that.
They're pretty wasteful, right? That's the other thing on those.
Typical
Like, they're
dad
pretty
stuff, dude. We just got into boats.
I know, right?
Right.
Boat
Like,
talk.
I mean, I don't know
Stuff.
shit about
We're
boats.
talking heavy boat talk today.
I will say that I went when I was 15, and there were 60 girls from Panama who were 15.
You have our attention.
They
Continue.
were celebrating some rich girl's quinceanera, and so she brought 50 of her closest friends or whatever.
Oh, nice.
And they were so there's a teen club on the thing where it's like a discotheque for the teens at night, and then an activity activity club during the day, and I was like, all these other Jersey Shore guys were around that were like
Oh, boy.
15, 16.
Oh, yeah.
Plus,
back then.
they didn't speak Spanish. I barely did.
shit.
I was in like level 2 of Spanish at this point, and I'm
Right.
just throwing out one word. I'm like calling her Bonita.
Right,
And,
just
like,
hitting.
that's it. I'm just hitting her with the one word.
Boricua.
It worked. I'll tell you what.
I
I had a
bet.
great time.
Nice.
And
Muy guapo.
yeah, that's right. But it was. I think that's probably where like people ask me, why I studied Spanish. I was like that
could make-
cruise
yeah.
played a part because I was
Okay.
oh my god, I can meet more people. Like it just never seemed. You grew up in Scranton and Carbondale.
Yeah.
You don't think that you're gonna speak another language.
Yeah, that's like your
so
passport
Yeah.
to like a whole nother.
It was
That's
like a
why-
whole.
Yeah.
I think it opened up a
I'm-
Whole new
whole
world.
I'm fluent in
possibility.
Danish now because I went to the red light district. So
Well,
I don't know what it is.
I
Yeah.
went on a cruise with some family friends when I was older, when I was probably just started teaching, and I didn't have anybody else that was a friend of my age that went, but I met some people. I met a cop at a Margaritaville, and Jimmy Buffett's like on this little island that has nothing except Margaritaville and the duty free shopping. Like that was the only thing on this island, and so we got hammered drinking yards of margaritas at like 8 a.m, and then at 11 o'clock you had to get back on the ship. So like by noon,
these
by
two
noon we were hammered. We get
stumbling on
the
back
ship.
onto the ship. They're like, oh Jesus, look at these two guys.
And it's so expensive that they do a drink of the day that's discounted price. So then we started hammering whatever the discounted drink of the day was. Go to the casino. We almost get kicked out of the casino because we're cursing at the blackjack table whenever like we don't get our card. So then they're like, you can't curse. So then for the rest of it, we're yelling the names of states. We're like, Alabama. And like I woke up in my bed with $800 in my pocket and a hamburger like next to my face, like
Nice.
And then they put the turn down service. They put chocolate mints on your pillow every night. Yeah, they stopped doing that because I woke up and like it looked like I had like crapped myself
shit the
all over the bed. So
Like an
the
angry
rest of the
tenant
they were on the
all over
nightstand.
the wall.
Yeah, they would do the turn down and then would put the mints on the
Like
table.
I think he's having trouble with the mints, guys. I think something's going horribly wrong with these mints.
It's deadly though because they give you the room key and they don't tell you prices of everything. You just swipe your
Oh
room
yeah,
key.
and then you just fucking.
So I went on one cruise with a good buddy of mine. It was just all dudes, 18-year-old. His parents, they gave us our own room and keys, and the first night they went nuts buying drinks for all the girls on there. And the parent got a call the next day just saying, hey, do you know you racked up $700 last night in bar
Oh, shit.
charges? I know his
There you
family's
go.
really wealthy, but they were like,
No one's gonna be happy with that.
nobody used my car. I kept my card away from them because I saw what they were doing, and I knew it was bad news. And I had already lost my wallet before we got on the ship. Like I got my wallet jacked before we got on the ship. Almost didn't get on the ship. So I was so grateful his mom had been a lawyer, and she was able to argue me onto the ship with a baptismal certificate that my mom faxed that morning. Like it was crazy. So I was like already just grateful to be there and knew I had no money. So I was like, I'm not going to do anything stupid. And I saved my card, so they still to this day talk to me because I was the only one that didn't take advantage. Because you would buy buckets of Corona, and if you buy a bucket of 6, they just swipe the card. You're sharing with the people. You're the
Right.
cool
Yeah,
kids.
of course.
Yeah,
Yeah. But if my kids did that, man, now I kind of would be like, I don't know if I would be mad.
Well, your kids are gonna drink. I mean, they're gonna
gonna
do
drink.
it. I mean, that's what it is.
They're gonna do dumb stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna do.
Being responsible, which one you were talking about. I mean, like, like the drinking part, I'm like, well, you're on. I mean, stay away from the app, whatever. Right, but the financial aspect of it is the thing that
That's
even
a-
if you are well off, it's still not.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, this is a dumb way to spend money every once in a while. Maybe when it's your money,
I know.
but when it's our money, yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah,
Now,
just like,
cruise ships are one thing, but what about this the submarine action that
Right,
we got
let's-
going
yeah.
on?
That's
I'm
That's
booked
it.
for
Would you
one.
go
Why
on-
did something happen? I'm booked for one. I'm gonna go.
I
on
know,
one.
right?
So, did
So
something happen?
explain, because I'm a little behind on this. So this was a submarine that was going down to look at the Titanic, and some rich people bought seats to like go on the journey.
Yeah, this is like a
pretty much it.
That's it.
Yep.
And so there was a father and son on there.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, this is where it ties into seriously dad shit right here. But I think it was a son and like a nephew, right?
I don't
Is that what it was?
Oh,
Well, nonetheless, no, it's a nephew of the woman who's telling the story.
Yeah.
the father essentially gets the young man to go down
Like
to the
19 or
submarine.
something
Yeah,
like- yeah.
and on the guy's Father's Day.
Oh, because it was over her father.
Yeah,
What? So he's like,
Yeah.
this. So you got to do this for your old man because
yeah.
And
like,
so the
wow,
kid didn't want to
right?
go.
Yeah, apparently he was scared to go, and he gets the it's Father's Day and goes on the thing. And,
Whoa, hello. Sorry.
and
everybody.
damn. See, and that's the thing about these holidays. Like that's the thing about, like maybe not these holidays, but here's what I'll say: there are people who really press obligation on the youngster. Right? It's Father's Day. It's my birthday. It's this. It's that. We promise we go. Like, when is that too much? And this is clearly like the
That's
worst
so-
case scenario, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, and I would like what he must have been. So like, imagine. I don't even want to imagine what the last moments. Like, I'm sure there'll be a movie eventually,
God.
but like, his last moments and oh my god, like, I mean, obviously, they were doing it with a PlayStation controller. Is that true?
Yeah, there's some really interesting things that.
Yeah, I know you
mean-
had pulled something up from
Yeah, I think it was
UK publication. This is obviously ABC7, but seems to be. I think it's this family here.
Yeah.
These two guys were. Yeah, it was just pretty rough. I'm trying to see exactly, but yeah, you can.
Did they actually get down to see the Titanic? Does anybody know? Like, did
So
they-
this seems to be. I think they had a malfunction earlier, so that's where it laid to rest. They were clearly close. Yeah, this is kind of like a remake.
and
If you're-
nobody could find them. How did nobody?
I thought they.
Can't Google Map that shit. Or what?
Yeah, right. Welcome to Google Water.
Yeah, Google Water.
Yeah. This is going to be a brand new thing. It's the most watery of water. Google Water.
I couldn't
yeah.
imagine obligating my kid to.
Do you do any obligations? Do you do
I mean-
anything where you're like, hey, because it's this, you have to do this?
I wonder if it was like just like, well, hey, this is a really cool opportunity. Not many people get to do this. Like, but yeah, you're right. You're. It's like anything, like teaching. I always had to be careful. I've been a teacher longer than I've been a parent, but as a teacher, we had to be careful because you have a captive audience, and so that's
Yeah.
why you get into these things where they don't want teachers to be when they use the word like indoctrinated. It's like this fear of you have a captive audience, and if it's your kid, I could see a parent guilting their kid into doing something if they thought.
Do you
like,
do that?
"Oh."
Do you do that?
I mean, I tried not to. Like, I didn't get like baseball. Like my oldest or my youngest didn't want to do baseball this year, so I didn't guilt her. She, as long as she was doing something, so she did deck hockey instead, which is fine.
Right. See, that's the thing. Yeah, as long as something else is, you can't dictate where their energy goes, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you should be dictating. So I feel like as long as something is being done, right? So what if he's like, yeah, Dad, I don't want to go on a submarine. Let's go do this.
Yeah.
Was it like, yeah, well, it's Father's Day, so you should do the thing I want to do? Because I feel like you would be like, yeah, let's go do the thing that you want to do. That's how I would feel.
you
Like
got-
if Lainey
I
was
mean,
like, no, Dad, let's do this on this day instead. And then I'd be like, okay, let's do that then.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be like, I mean, there's certain things I think, since my kids are younger, so I'm kind of like guiding them to like, all right, do certain things you have to do. Like my daughter will like on a kick where she's like, well, I don't want to eat that. I'm like, well, yeah, but you got to do stuff you don't want to do.
Oh yeah, you
sometimes.
got it. There's definitely
So,
that.
but
There's
it's like a
definitely that.
fine
Yeah.
line between like, and the coercion of your kid to be like, hey, go on this thing you're deathly afraid of because it's Father's Day.
Yeah, that's not.
I think that's what you
That's
got to
not
be
a way I
careful
would
of
like
as
to
a
do it.
as a parent and as a teacher because you hold so much weight with your kids.
Yeah, you
and
do.
You're like a superhero to them, and then to stake that cause your life or do. I mean, but I guess the argument's going to be like, everything's a risk. I mean, if he asked him to go
To
on a walk
Hawaii.
through the city
Right,
and got hit by a bus
To
that
go on a
day,
hike.
like,
Yeah, that's a good point. To do anything, right? I mean, things can happen at any
But
point.
so this guy's a rich. What did this guy do? He's a businessman.
Pakistani businessman.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. So it was
40. He was only 48. The son was 19.
19. Yep. Yeah. no,
And did they have? I wonder. I don't know. Did they have any other kids? Was that?
Yes, he is survived by
Ooh.
his daughter, Alina, and his wife, Christine.
So okay. So now, wow. So they're like, they got to be devastated right now. I shout out.
Yeah.
I feel for them.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not.
that's a
not
huge
fun.
loss. But
Yeah.
I mean, if that was his passion and he really wanted to do that,
Well, it's
and-
clearly the dad's passion. That's what we're saying. It's clearly the dad's passion, but the young man wasn't his, or maybe it was his passion. Maybe he just wasn't feeling it on that day. But fuck, man.
Yeah,
I mean, that's not the way you want.
well,
want
it's
to
not
do it.
luxurious either. Like even if you were down, I mean, like it's got to be
Right,
tiny. It's not like a cruise ship. It's not like he's on the Lido deck, getting cookies at
Right,
3 o'clock.
the Ghostbuster milk gun.
Yeah. So it's like this experience, but like, man, like, and I want to know. It's like astronauts. Like, how are they going to the bathroom? I have like so many.
That's the thing. They're like going in like these little things. They're going in like little testing these little things.
Here's this is the relationship between I'm gonna butcher. I do
Shahzada
apologize.
and Suleiman?
Shahzada and Suleiman, was a joy to behold. They were each other's greatest supporters and cherished a shared passion for adventure and exploration of all the world. Yeah, and and had all the world had to offer them. The family's statement said. Yeah, it's you know what I mean. It dragged along. I feel like I think he might have been. I would have been nervous. Like if my dad was like, I do this all the time. I would have been nervous anyway. So I would have showed reprehension. Been like, I'm big. I'm very worried about being in a small space. I am claustrophobic. So I know it's tough. But
I
yeah
think
like
that's
you guys
pretty
said,
common.
you could. Yeah, you could get hit, by a car crossing the thing. I mean,
Yeah, you could. People go hiking. People get on planes. Like shit, yeah.
So you had we were talking the other day after you absolutely slayed at Soul Joel's the other night. This
Oh,
guy,
yes.
Neil.
I've heard. I've heard
Like,
very,
the
very
energy
well.
had changed. I felt bad for the guy who had to go middle after you. But like we were talking after, and then we sort of kind of on the same
We had a
vein. You
moment.
posed a question, and I was like, "Oh, we have to talk about this." You want to go ahead and pose the
Yeah,
question?
man, let's do it. This probably
This is like I think it kind of fits with this.
fits
so
right
maybe
off of this.
think
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Closing strong, man. So, if you were in a situation where you had to like say bye,
Yeah.
right? You knew what was coming, and you got the opportunity to talk for 10 minutes, whatever. How you gonna close? Like that's the ultimate closer, right?
Yeah, like so.
as
like,
comedians, you want to close.
If they had
Yeah.
a chance, which they didn't, call to his daughter.
Yeah.
What would he?
What would he say? Because it's it. That's the ultimate close. You're done.
or even what?
Yeah.
To even think about like what those words would have been. In
on the thing. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know. Like, would you want to be inspirational with it? Would you want to be funny? Would you want to be, all loving? Would you want what would you want it to be? Like, you don't even have to say exactly what it would be, but like, how would you want to come off?
Yeah, your magnum opus.
My
There you go.
initial
that's
thought.
that's the close.
My initial thought is I want to keep them as. I would want to keep it as light as possible.
Yeah. So yeah. Let's say they didn't know.
Like they didn't know.
They didn't know, and you were like, "Hey, I just wanted to talk to you, kiddo."
Well, they're gonna know by the end of that sentence. I
Yeah,
feel like by the end
yeah.
of whatever you say, they're gonna
I
be like,
feel like
something
I
is
want-
up.
All right,
them-
let's not. Let's.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like they don't know, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, can I just talk to you?" So
Something,
what's up?
something,
And
yeah,
you're
something
like, "Hey,
crazy's
man."
happened.
And
You're in the
like-
hospital.
Yeah, and you get to say, and you get
They
the
know they get to
opportunity to
yeah.
say. I think I would want to be inspirational. I would want to say something that no matter where they were in life, they could say, and it would give them something to move forward on.
right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like something to. I can do this and remember what my dad said.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't be afraid of this because I remember this thing my dad said.
Right.
Like that's what I can do better because I remember this thing my dad said. Like that's how I would want it. That's how I would want to do it.
I would want
Yeah.
to leave them with the thought that even though I may not be there physically, I will be there every step of the way. So when you have a great moment, you can kind of look down. You have a bad moment, you can look up and know that I'm looking. I would want the thought that if I'm not physically, I'm there, and I'm like my spirit is there, and so if they, like that way, if they want to talk, because I feel like it's weird sometimes when someone passes, like even like I grew up Catholic, so like even the concept of prayer was sometimes weird. Like, what is prayer? What do you say? Like, we had the ones you memorize, but like you're just having a conversation. So I think I would want to even encourage that. Be like, if you just need to have a conversation,
Yeah, talk
with
out
me,
loud. You're talking
just
out loud.
God. Yeah, so I think I would want to leave a recipe behind for them to give them steps to do when moments are tough and moments are great, so that they could. Because I don't want them to just think in moments of greatness, but if they need someone too, I want them. Sometimes you just need to think things out loud. So I think sometimes even if they don't, even if I go to dust and all of it's for whatever, there's still some value, and I think them reflecting and talking it out loud. So I think I want to leave a recipe behind for them to remember me, and to know that no matter what happens to them or that they do, like.
Well, I remind myself of this shit a lot. I'll be like, yo, don't like. Sometimes I'm driving a car, right? And the phone buzzes, and you start looking down. Sometimes I'm like, dude, your daughter could have no dad, and you're like, so you could write LOL to somebody, like that's fucking important,
dude.
you know, it's like, so you can write ha ha ha, like it's not a big fucking deal. Like put that down, like folk, you know what I mean? Like that.
is.
Sometimes I remind myself, like, hey, when you're out there, be careful of X, Y, and Z. Road rage, that's another one. Like, yo, let that guy have it, man. You don't know you don't know what that guy's got going on. You don't know where they're at and things, and you could be the one that found out, and then your daughter's got nobody.
My mom is so worried about
It's
this.
like, yeah.
She sees me on my phone sometimes. She's so mad. She bought me like an apparatus for the car. Like she went out of her way. She's like, you got to use this. You got to stop.
Yeah.
And the same with road rage. One time she was in the car and like I sped up after this guy. She's like, your daughters are in the car right now.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like this because you're right. We do like such frivolous things in the moment because that adolescent.
It was like,
inside
this
us.
is a good idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, could you imagine, like, oh my gosh, like someone would have to tell your daughters, like, this happened. And the first thing it would be like, is no or why. And the answer to why is because so daddy can write LOL.
Yeah, you want to be
to
a
his
Darwin
fuck-
Award winner.
You know what I mean? So I could write LOL to fucking Jay about a show we did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. So I can write, hey, but whatever the fuck, and then that would be horrible. You know. So sometimes I remind myself of that all the time, and you know, you just.
Yeah, because you're right. There's silly things. They're not putting on a seatbelt. Like
Yeah.
I was telling me the other day. So because mine like beeps at me, but then it eventually
You let the
calms
beeping
down.
beep. You let the thing beep.
It beeps, and then
This
I let.
drives me up a wall.
Wow, bro.
These people,
Who let
dude.
that fucking shit beep.
My
Like we
ex-
need to hear that
My
shit.
ex knows, like, and dude, and it's honestly, it's funny because it's turned into like at some points it would be like a power dynamic where she would know. Yeah, she said the same thing. Like, I remember going just like, oh, I didn't even hear it. Are you out of your mind?
All right.
That's such bullshit.
But it
man.
needs to
You've
keep
tuned it
beeping. The
out?
cars that keep beeping, then I'm like, fine, you win.
Yeah.
Like, or
I'm happy.
we
Good.
got a new fridge, and the fridge,
Oh, it beeps
if
when you
you
hold it
leave
open
it
too long.
ajar, but it never stops yelling at you.
Good.
And I'm like, and that's what I need. I need someone. Do you remember automatic seatbelts? Do you remember the
Yeah.
cars? My
Yeah, they
first
said-
car had, but it still wasn't
hit
done.
in
You
the
had to do
face so many times.
the lap belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I
Just
wouldn't
stop
do the
doing
lap
those.
belt. But like I was like, you got to do the lap belt.
That's the most important part.
That's the most
But yeah,
important
wearing your fucking seatbelt.
We
Big
wear your
deal.
seatbelt.
Like that's such a big deal for the risk reward. Is too
Motorcycle
much.
helmet guys on motorcycles wearing helmets.
Motorcycles, man.
Too
they're-
cool for school.
There's a guy.
That scares shit out of me.
Yeah, one of my friends. Yeah, a friend, one of my ex's friends, a cop in a coma currently. Just happened not too long ago.
God.
Yeah, on a bike, not a helmet, crashed.
Oh, my
in a coma,
God.
rest of his life.
And even mine, like when I did, I had a stint of a motorcycle for.
Oh yeah, you were riding a hog out there.
I had a motorcycle,
Right,
And
huh?
I just did the half cap. I didn't do like the full, but I wore a helmet every time. But like
Yeah.
I didn't have the full helmet. I didn't do like the full on.
It's fun. It's probably fun, right?
It was too. I couldn't
Fun for
get
you, huh?
over it. It was fun when you're going and it's straight and
Right.
it's like calm or a highway, but
Sure.
like negotiating turns or like being on a hill with the clutch and like
yeah, it's an
like there's some
Okay.
things there that I
Wasn't
just
for you, huh?
wasn't. I didn't grow up around that. I didn't grow up on dirt bikes. I didn't grow up. grew up driving.
What
an
made you think
automatic.
you wanted to? How old were you when you got it?
So I got peer pressured. I was probably 24.
Were you married? Were you married?
No, I was just
Okay.
out of college.
So your buddy's got one or something.
First
They're like,
couple
you should
years
really get
teaching.
one.
Yep,
Yeah, a little
he's-
bit of
they go
cash.
on these
You
road
went-
trips.
You
They-
ain't got one.
Yep.
So then you're like in a parking lot, like learning
And
how to
he
maneuver.
taught me. Yeah, my buddy convinced me to like. He went and looked at it. You know, we were looking in like the auto.
Oh, and he's
shop
like, this is
thing.
a good buy.
And we went over. We went together.
Okay.
He test drove it for me, and then
So then he drove it
back.
back. You drove the car.
I drove the
And then you
car, and
automatically
then we
started
went
trying
to
to
a
learn how to
parking
use it.
lot, and then he taught me
How
some
long were
things.
you in the parking lot for?
Oh, like I don't know, half hour, or whatever.
And then you're on the road.
And then he asked and then he had me follow him home on it
Okay.
through the back, like smaller
Yeah.
streets, like from Scranton, Dunmore area. And so, but the funny part was I wasn't putting it all the way back into first gear when I get to like a stop
All the
sign.
way down, you
And so
gotta-
I'm sitting outside. There's like a police station right here.
Oh, you're just-
I'm outside. I'm like, and I couldn't figure it out, and I'm just stuck there. And he had to get out of the car and come back and like help me get it
Yeah.
back to first gear,
'Cause, yeah.
and remind me to like downshift.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta
so
go
that I
all
could
the
get
way
it
so
back
you were-
down
so you
to
had
first.
that, and then you
but
got
I
rid of
needed
it
to
shortly
learn the
after.
hard way, so
Yeah.
that's what he was trying to do.
How long did you hang on to
So,
it for?
The summer. So
Okay,
I
and
only
you
had
got
it
rid
from
of
like
it.
May to
Did you make money
August.
off it?
I sold it for what I
Okay, so you
I
broke
owed
even,
on it
alright.
to a buddy of mine. And
Okay, you tried it. You didn't
Yep,
like it. You
I
moved
tried
on.
it. I did it for the
it's-
summer.
You know, well, when you drive a motorcycle, it's the driver. It's hard to see motorcycles. Like period. Like,
I hate to say it, dude. You're more of a
it's-
quad guy.
Yeah. I need
On
as
Broad
many
Street,
things
More
yeah,
of a
Broad Street.
quad.
More of a
All you do
quad
is you
guy.
get a little thumb, the
Yep.
ignition's right here. You
Nice
don't need
and
to.
easy.
You might need to get an
I can see
automatic.
on Broad Street with a quad.
Yeah, dude.
really.
Pulling
But dude,
wheelies.
those guys are crazy. Because I drive by to get here, and I'm just like, what are these guys doing?
All right, Grandpa. Here we go.
No, they're
yeah,
serious.
Clearly.
Like,
I hate it.
They're to the full on. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
if you just.
Oh, I'm bored by it. I genuinely go like, you know what's funny about like off my experiencing like the suburbs or like actual places where they use them, and then coming in the city, I will see a grown man on what we would see a child on. Like it's like a 50, it's like a 120 cc.
Yeah, I know
it's a
what you're talking-
pit bike.
I know what you're talking
and
about.
it's like it's cool to be on it. And I'm like, no, dude, it's embarrassing.
Yeah,
We
I
give
know what
those
you're
to
saying.
children to move in
Like a
between
Power
pit
Wheels.
races.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah, like
oh, I always wanted a Power Wheels as a kid.
no, we wanted go
We didn't have one.
we wanted
Well,
something.
no, my sister had one, then they left it out in the rain. So by the time I came to, it
ridiculous.
was just a
was
big
done.
hunk of plastic with a fucked up battery in it.
Yeah, I was just.
That was it. I used to like sit on.
We had
it, right?
the. You guys must have. We still have ours actually. We still have the red little car. The Flintstones, like the Flintstone car. So it's got the whole through, not the actual Flintstones cars. What I'm saying is, used to be back in the day, you would just get in and have a little steering. Well,
There's
not
like a
really
plastic-
steering
a
wheel,
little
but it's
plastic-
got the
Yeah,
feet where the
feet,
kids can
yeah.
just go. They kind
I
of
thought
still
it
make
was
them.
actually
I'm talking the
the
old
model
bubble one. It looks like
Yeah,
McDonald's
plastic
made it.
piece
So
of
it's a
shit.
yellow
Yeah, it's that
top
one.
and a red
Yeah,
bottom
like
with
the-
black wheels.
yeah,
We still
hunk of
have it.
plastic.
The
The
kids
little
still
types.
playing them. Yeah, the little
Yes.
types. Yeah, I just came from my niece's little
We
birthday.
had we had one because then it even had like the gas cap, like where you would have put the like gas. You know,
Yeah, it's a little thing.
Well, it's funny to see those ones because they also, my oldest sister bought them ridiculous toys, which I actually kind of want to talk to you guys about. I mean, it's maybe not today, but maybe one day, one episode, parenting and toy buying for parties and everything you have to deal with. Like, hey,
my
don't
God.
you know, like that whole
That's
thing.
the dumbest
It's
shit
a
ever.
whole
That
dumb
is
thing.
the
I don't know,
dumbest shit ever.
but different tactics. I feel like it's it's interesting. But they also have brand new Mercedes Benz lookalike coupes.
Nice.
That my oldest sister got them. So we have the oldest toys that are a car, and then we have it has
newest.
Bluetooth in it.
Oh, the
It has
shit.
AM and
Wow.
FM radio.
Wow, I didn't know how,
And
how
thi-
fast does it go? Fuck that. How fast does it
It's you know what? No joke. My this is the family that I come from, and I love it. And my sister found a good one because Tim, my brother-in-law, he's like, you can put actually a 24-volt battery on that. Like he's like I'm thinking about getting it.
He's souping it up.
He's gonna soup it up.
Taking
So,
it off
yeah.
price.
Yeah, he's like, I'll probably get that thing up to like 10, 15, probably. Like I'm like, let's do it, man. So I think we're gonna try to put a 24-volt in it and just
There
figure
you
it out.
go. Where are you from?
They can't freak. I'm just from like Hamilton, Vineland, like South Jersey.
South Jersey.
Yeah, he's from New York. He's up Syracuse.
Oh, he's way up there.
Okay.
Way up.
But it was very interesting seeing the dynamic of toys at my house. I was like, well, you guys have a modern, very expensive. We've got stuff
My
made out
wife
of
will
wood.
go on like Facebook Marketplace and
That's a good
find
idea.
stuff that way. Like if there's something like we always wanted to have the girls have like a little playhouse, like the little, we had found like a Dora one and some of those, or slip and slide, like some of
Yeah,
those.
I think the
classics.
key with toys is toys in, toys out. Because you're like
Yeah.
hoarding toys.
Yeah.
You're buying, and you're never releasing, and you got all these toys. Toys in, toys out.
Yes.
That's, if you're going to be like a family that's all about toys and keep on buying, toys got to come out of the house. You can't just have a whole bunch of fucking plastic sitting
It's
in your house.
insane.
It really is.
And
It
give
is.
them to, you got to give them to someone too, because you're just
Yeah.
like the recycling hasn't hit the toy industry yet, has it?
No,
There's
all that
much
plastic
fucking
you can't even
It is
recycle.
not even funny.
Yeah, we end up.
There's so
we
much.
end up either. My wife will, if it's still something in good shape, or she'll then put it back on Marketplace.
Yeah, give it to
or
somebody or something,
We'll go to
yeah.
the Liberty Thrift.
Yeah.
And drop it around back.
Yeah, you got to give it. You got to
And,
give it.
like, you
yeah,
know.
but toys in, toys out. That's the biggest.
Well, it's just the protocol of like I feel like some people now, at least my sister goes out of her way. She does like a registry for everything for the girls. So she's like, I don't even want you guys to, of course,
Like an
family.
Amazon wish list
Well, the
kind of
problem is
thing?
family just my
That's what
sister. My
family does.
sister has broken all the like. That's what gets me worried if I ever have kids because like. They pull seniority, but they're doing it in a bad way. I'm like, no. Listen, I'm trying to teach my kid. Like, that they don't need this frivolity, this ridiculous amount of toys and all of this excess stuff all the time, and you're just giving them chocolate,
You're
just
adding to
shoving
it,
it
you're
down
just
their
making it
throat.
That's the thing. But then you have the kid, and you're like, that's the logic, and that's totally logical. And then you have the kid, and you want to be like that day when you got like your stimulus check, and you're like, oh, daddy's ordering all the
I went
stuff for
directly into-
everybody. We're getting fries for the table, bitches. Like, and you want to have this moment where
Jay,
you're
that's
like,
insane what you just said, and also to give you an idea of where I come from, I was like, that went directly in a savings account. I was like, we're gonna need that. That's rainy day money.
But I see that's the thing. But like sometimes you want to feel like you are, you want to portray yourself wealthier than you are. And I think that's what happens. Like you're like, oh, I can get this for the girls right now, and I'll be the man.
Yeah, then you have friends of the family. They don't know what your deal is, and they'll think, no, they'll be okay with it. And I would be livid when I tell you that I would be a crazy person at these parties.
It's good
because
that-
I hate it.
If you can get your kid in sports, that's
Yeah.
so much better than getting your kid in toys.
That I like that. I like that.
You know, like
Yes.
you buy a ball, a baseball bat. You know what I mean?
Basketball,
they'll
last
have
year.
it
A
for a
net
bit
in the
a
yard.
net, right? It may cost a little bit more up front, but if you spend let's say
definitely.
$1,000, I don't know what a basketball rim costs now.
Sure.
And you put it up, it's $1,000.
I would
but
get my kid a
the amount of
longboard.
time
Yeah.
that they're spent there is.
I kid you not. My favorite thing was we got it was like a patio set. And so they took the box from the patio set. I cut out a strike zone, put it at the end of an alley thing.
Nice.
And that was my toy. Me, a baseball, my glove, and 46 feet, because that was a little league distance. Measured it out in the yard, and I just would
There you
pummel
go.
that box. And that was it. I
Pummel
would
that
just, but
box.
we had a wall that I would just throw to it in a field from it. Like I didn't need it, but then like somebody had gotten me this Nolan Ryan pitch thing that hung on the back of a door.
Yeah. Oh.
And it came with like balls that were kind of like dog toys or whatever, and you
Velcro?
could pitch to it. No, it was meant to hit the different, because like the
Zones,
thing was like a
strings, and then it
batter
would come
strike
back?
zone.
Right.
Then it would come
And
back.
so,
like,
well,
rebound?
you'd have to go collect
Okay.
it. That'd have been cool. No, but like you get like 3 balls, and then you'd pitch to it, and then that would be the batter, and then it would tell you if it was a ball or a strike.
Nice.
And then you'd play a game that way. That was the coolest, because I was like, oh, this is so much better than the box. Like it's like keeping track of the game for me, and it's
keeping
so,
score.
Like so I love those kind of stuff. Like that was like the coolest toy I ever got, which was kind of like a high tech toy. Like maybe it was like 1992. I got a Super Mario watch. That was like this cheesy 8-bit, like not 8-bit. I don't know what it was, but it was like the Tecmo. Did you ever play those little Tigers games?
Yeah, yeah.
Like back in the day, where
Double
it was
Dragon
like,
2 and shit like that.
So
yeah.
it was like that style on a watch, and
That
it
was
was
the
like
coolest
the
toy, yeah.
coolest thing I ever got. 'Cause it was so high tech.
I think the being outside type of stuff. I did a lot of bikes, a lot of skateboards, stuff like that.
Okay.
I was skating all day long, biking all
were a
day long.
skateboarder?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
could never.
Your boy can shred, dude. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
that's
bikes.
real.
We had bikes. We got on
Bikes,
the
we had
you
bikes,
just get out
too.
of the house, and I had like a little system. So on my house, we had this like porch, and I kept and there was like, I don't know, not maybe like 10 feet between us and the next house, this little alley thing. So I would like jump over the thing. My bike was there. I'd hop on, and there was this little path out my yard by the bush, and I felt like I was in the bat cave. Like I would just
yeah.
I loved like just rolling out, jumping over the porch fence, hopping on the bike, and zooming out.
Yeah,
And I thought it was so
just-
cool.
But that's better than toys. That's what
That's
I get.
better,
But better
yeah.
than toys, because the toys you're just gonna like buy
The
another
kid's
one, buy
gonna
another one.
find the
you're
kid's
gonna
gonna
be outside.
create the
world.
fun around
Yeah,
it. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, Lainey plays. She plays. Well, she's doing soccer and softball, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really into softball.
Yeah,
That may be-
my
that may be
daughter
the
just
one.
had her gymnastics exhibition.
Oh, nice. That's a good one.
Honestly,
Gymnastics
we,
is good.
We
That's a
got
good
in
one.
there, and like you couldn't even see. Like you couldn't see, and then she was one of the first groups, and she if you blinked, you would have missed it. Like I'm out for 10 seconds. They made me pay $10. I had to park like 2 miles away. Can't even really see her because it's
she
all
does a tumble.
flat.
Because she got to come
And
out
then
and she
she's
does a
so
little
tiny.
tumble,
She
right?
does like a little thing,
Yeah,
and
and
then she
then
runs
they're
off.
And then she
tumbling,
runs
there's all
off.
these sea of people
You
standing.
can't see anything.
You can't
There's
see.
no-
And then
this
my-
wasn't in a gymnasium where they were seating or anything. You're just
No,
on a
it's just
flat
an
ground.
auditorium.
That was a
That's
nightmare.
ridiculous.
Did
And
I
then
tell
my-
sorry, did I ever tell you this? A friend of mine had a event, a dance. Daughter was in dance.
Right. Oh, I just record. I was just a videographer for one. Yeah.
Okay. So they had so she pays for class or whatever. Pays for the uniform and
Yeah.
whatnot. Then they have like the recital.
Recital, yeah.
She has to pay for tickets for the recital.
Yep.
Then you have to pay for tickets for her whole family for the recital.
Yep.
I want to say thank you to all those people because they paid me to record it. So thank you. And I appreciate you.
I could see like just making two, the whole family. That's absolutely fucking that's nuts.
Well, so
that's fucking nuts. That is.
They do that with all that cheer. So my other daughter did cheer last week, and so she had a clinic all
my
week. So
God.
she went away 9 to 1 every day, Monday through Thursday. Then on
dude,
Friday,
that's fucking crazy.
you go for like the show at the end of what they had been teaching them all week.
Yeah.
So you wait in line. They didn't this one they didn't make us pay, but when she does the cheer competition, same deal. They make you pay in cash, then you go in and you watch for the 2 minutes they're on the mat for their performance and out, and like it's in a flash. So like we get to the cheer camp, same scenario happens. They have all the parents outside, then they flood into the gym, and literally only the people in the front row could see them, and now it's a people sunk down.
Oh,
And
so you can't even see the
can't
tops of their
even
heads.
like you're seeing like the high school girls' feet as they do the flip, because that's
Oh,
what was
God.
happening. They were doing the flip, and so luckily people were cool about like if their kid
It's like,
wasn't
my kid's
on,
up, let me go to
they
the front,
peeled
and I'll
back.
go back.
Like if they're like, oh, this isn't my kid's group, they peeled back.
Oh, that
You
was
gotta do-
nice.
it's
man.
like-
Look at the
push
parents help. Look at the
You gotta
parents.
do like
working
a
together.
viewing window to like see the
But I
polar
was like,
bear.
where- I'm like,
it's-
same
you gotta
week.
bring in one group and
I
then
was like,
next.
same week. This is
Really?
the same nonsense. Two
What do
different
they do? I
places.
mean-
If you guys are gonna have an exhibition and have the parents there, can you give a
Get it
little
together,
forethought?
motherfucker. Get it
Like
together.
they had a
What the fuck are you
stage. They
doing?
should have just used the
the
stage or
stage.
did something like. But they needed to do something better. At least they didn't charge us.
Yeah.
If they had charged us and it was that, I'd been like, this is.
I don't remember. I remember Lainey wasn't. I don't think she's dancing anymore. Well, I know she's not dancing anymore. I don't think she's gonna pick it back up. But I don't remember if I paid or not. I remember it was quite the turnout, big auditorium, pretty fucking packed, and like the show value was high. Like it was like the lights and shit and all that whatever.
And the cheer ones are that, but they do them in an auditorium.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think I don't remember if I paid. I don't think I did. I don't think I did.
So I didn't mind paying for that because you do. You can go up, you can get a good video, you can get up.
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And I wore that. My wife got me a shirt that said, "I thought she said beer competition." I was
I'm
a
familiar with
hit.
that.
Oh my god! When I tell you, I was the belle of the ball.
Did they carry you- did they
every
carry
guy
you
in
out of
there
there?
was like, "Yeah, man,
brother."
like, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Security
It's 5
guards.
o'clock somewhere, right? Dude, no, you honestly
It
should
was
not
like-
be
They
They
drinking
carried it
out
out
here,
like
sir.
Rudy.
It was amazing.
Sir, are you tailgating this? You're not supposed to be tailgating this, sir. I know you see my shirt, but seriously, that's
Yeah,
messed up.
that's a dad
Yeah.
joke for them.
Yep.
They probably fucking they loved
Yep.
it.
They were yes.
Yeah,
I was.
I don't remember paying all that. It's kind of. I think that's a Subway.
shirt that you would never go to.
Not yet.
So I took my daughter to
You know what?
JoJo Siwa.
Well, we went to the carnival yesterday
Okay.
at the boardwalk, Ocean City, Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool, really cool. The girls really loved it, but there was rides where the kids need to be accompanied by a parent.
Yep.
They shouldn't make the parents pay full price or whatever to be because I don't want to ride that stupid roller coaster. You know what I mean? I'm there to
Make
be
sure
a,
they don't
a
fall
chaperone.
out.
You know, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
to say, because some of them like you can't ride by yourself.
Yeah.
So I have to go on it. So you buy this whole thing of tickets, this book of tickets, then you're giving away a ticket. You're just burning through them quicker for no reason.
Yeah,
in my opinion, but-
they're making you do it.
Yeah.
But the what was I talking about? I lost it.
Oh,
We were we were talking about geez.
cheerleading.
Yeah.
No, but it was
Cheerleading auditorium, right? And then we switched over from there. I'm just gonna
it's JoJo
strike
Siwa.
this.
So I
JoJo
took my
Siwa.
daughter
Who the
to
fuck
a
is-
Who the fuck is that?
JoJo Siwa was originally on the Dance Moms show where it was all those crazy moms forcing their
Oh,
your kids
she was-
an
okay, so
obligation,
she was like a young-
forcing
young
their
girl.
kids to like be
Whoa.
a dancer, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
she
yeah, I
was
get it.
on the original show Dance Moms as one of the little kids.
Okay.
and then she just broke out and became this like
So
superstar.
she is now, like, this
and now
kid
she's
superstar?
like she does her own concerts and it's all she's like the main event.
She's making a
and
ton of money, I'm
so
sure
there-
of it.
there- so and so we went to one of her concerts, and my wife got us matching T-shirts. That was like "Life is better with bows" because she always, as you can see, always wears bows. If you see,
Oh, boy.
so
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's her
life is
thing.
better. So, and I'm rocking this shirt, and again. killing
yeah,
it.
let's educate.
Everybody
with the beer dad, with the beer
loved
competition.
the shirt.
I'll bring it up for
now,
other
this was
parents.
for the moms.
I'm sure the other parents know. I'm bringing it up, but also I feel like there's a mixture of parents definitely know who this is, absolutely.
Yes.
And then there's people like me and Albert who are kind of like,
My
I don't
girls
know
are not
who
into
that is.
JoJo's.
Yeah.
So my daughter was way into it, so we got our matching shirts and went to Hershey and did the Joe Siwa
okay.
concert.
She's like one of the biggest acts I think in the world.
it was
Probably.
so
Yeah.
great. It was
Making a
packed.
fucking
And we had a blast. It was
Kelly
fun.
Clarkson.
She
What's
was
the-
dancing
fun.
and jamming out. I was enjoying watching her have a good time, and then I was killing it with the parents with the T-shirt every time.
They
we
sell
walked
booze
by,
at that
so.
thing?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, the parents were getting tanked up.
Oh,
Yeah,
better believe it.
yeah.
Interesting.
Not a big
Yeah,
drinker
all
for
those.
the
Well,
kids. I
dude,
think we
Disney,
definitely talked about
Disney
that
on
one.
Ice. I take my kids to Disney on Ice every year. Always serving. They're serving alcohol.
are you
Come on,
drinking?
buddy. Rocks. You know, on ice,
drinking? You
baby. Let's
drinking?
go.
Oh, I drank. Yeah, my
Yeah.
wife drove, so I drank. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like. I had like one
not,
of
like,
the
hammed up, you know,
IPA. Well, they give you those big cans, so I like the IPA,
tall
like
boys.
Founders IPA all day.
Dude, you have one of those. It's actually 3 beers, and you're just like
Yeah, you're
feeling
right.
good. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
He's
We
got a
did-
bun-
I
he's got a bun in his
We did
fucking hair. He's
Jurassic
jazzing
World
around.
recently, and I went to that and had a few. While we were
Jurassic World, was
watching
that on
Jurassic
ice? Is that a
World.
fucking-
So that one was. It was at Wells Fargo, but it wasn't. It was all animatronic, like dinosaurs and.
You ever
like,
do the cars, the monster truck? You ever do a
I
monster
would
truck?
totally go.
You ever do a
Never
monster
done
truck?
it. Like
Well, no.
Bloomsburg Fair.
They're probably pretty bad. I've been to a demolition derby. I've never been to a monster truck.
Yeah, I've been to like cross and stuff like that, like motocross racing, and it's a rally car, drag races and stuff.
you've done a
Never
lot of
went to
Never
never went
done
to
a monster truck though, right?
No, I've never
But
done.
the
never
fairs
went
do
to a
that.
monster.
It's almost fair
Yeah.
season because
Yeah.
it's like Bloomsburg, all of those fairs.
Yeah, the
It's
car. You
wedding
can smell the
season.
carnies
You
coming.
ever see?
baby.
I remember going to this fair and they had like the Clydesdale horses pulling shit. Did you ever see that?
Did you ever see the Budweiser? Is that what you're talking about? Like
Well, they're
Budweiser
not the
horses?
Budweiser horses,
Oh,
but they're
okay.
the Clydesdales, and these dudes sit on like these sleds and they're loaded up with weight, and the horses fucking pull it.
No, I
ever
haven't.
see
They
that
do.
shit?
I mean, I've never. I
It's
mean,
pretty
I know
cool,
they
dude.
do all like tractor pulls, and I've like seen all sorts of.
Yeah, true.
Like, we have a Kimberton Fair coming up by us, which is a big one, and my daughter actually is now in it. They have like the Miss Kimberton Fair, like where they're like ambassadors for the fair. So there's like it's like a
They walk around with a dress
they
and
like
like
Dairy
a scepter
Queen.
and a
Like,
sash.
yeah,
and-
they're like so they go up and they have to like do a talent or do a speech, and then the whole week they have to be there and they work some of the games with their sash, and they
like, interact
are
with the
supposed to be
people.
interacting with people and being like good representatives of the fair.
Enjoy the
And
politics
It's
as you
adorable.
go.
Like my youngest is still too young, but she said she's going to do it. My wife did it, and her sister did it when they were younger. So it's like this cool like
Okay.
little tradition thing, and I like it because it makes her be responsible. She has to be there every day, and in return they get a all ride bracelet for all the rides. So when they're done
shit.
doing their 6 to 8
Child
o'clock
labor.
shift, their child
Illegal
labor.
child labor
That's
is
right.
what that is.
Yeah,
Jack.
that's
She did
I don't know if you were
You're
picking up on
you're
that when you were
correct.
talking about
I
it.
was thinking about
As someone who was
it.
abused in the exact same way at a fair in Hamilton, New Jersey. Yeah. I was working like
You were like the
11
D-tank?
years old behind a thing, slinging fried food and stuff. Yeah. No, I know what happens at fairs.
My daughter loved the ring toss, and you won a soda if you got the ring toss on a bottle.
Yep.
And she loved it, but she was like a carny. She's like barking, like getting people to come over.
Step right
Yeah,
up,
she
step
was
right
like
up.
vicious.
Trying to beat the littlest girl in the world.
And then they would hit it, and she would get so excited for them and so overstimulated, she'd run over, "What soda? What soda?" And then he's like, "The pressure." He's like, and then she's like, "I don't know which soda's pressure." And it was like adorable. She was
Remember the one?
freaking
I remember
out.
the game we had to shoot the star out. Remember that?
Oh,
They
with
gave
the
you-
with the air rifle.
Yeah, you
You had to shoot the star out.
I like the
Yeah,
I like
that
the
one.
water gun one where you have to be
race?
precise,
Clown's
and then
mouth?
it like races up
Clown
the-
mouth racing?
Clown mouth, yeah.
Shoot it across out,
I worked the carnival for many years.
Did
Crazy.
yours
you were
move?
A carny?
Technically, I have made out with a carny. I made out with a carny girl named Blue. I swear to Christ.
It's amazing.
I swear to Christ, that's 100. She was a goth chick traveling with a carny, traveling with a carnival from Florida, and me and her met eyes. Well, I mean, I
On the
Hers were
zipper.
crossed,
We
but-
got.
how dare you? I couldn't even tell if they were crossed. They had so much makeup on them.
You guys were in line for the zipper. Do you guys have that right?
Oh,
The
now here,
zipper?
listen. I have been in the zipper and
It's, like,
almost
falls
died.
apart. Yeah, that thing
Yes,
falls apart
Our
on the
zipper
rag, yeah.
was bad. There ended up actually being an accident on the one that was at our fair. Like,
you were working the basketball rim that's so bent that you could never get a basketball in it. Yeah,
it's
you look
insane.
at it from the side view and you're like,
oh, it was always It's great.
But all
It's
like
pretty
all the
cool.
local ones. I mean,
Yo.
I don't know about you, but we have tons that are popping up now. Like all the churches and stuff have them.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, the tilt-a-whirl is still scary as
I
fuck.
love the Tilt-A-Whirl.
It's still gonna fuck you up.
The whip. Did you ever go on Knoebels? Has the you gotta go. You ever been to
I
Knoebels?
don't think I've been to Knoebels.
You got to take your kids to Knoebels, dude. One, it's free. It's free.
Huh?
You only have to pay for if you go on the rides. But like
Oh, so you can just walk
you
in
get
there.
free
Okay.
parking, free. Yeah,
that's
and
not
it's-
bad.
And then you just and it's reasonable prices. If you eat there, you're gonna pay like it's all like home. Some of it's like home cooked food, depending on
Mm-hmm.
like they make these really good pierogies. Great place. Knoebels, Elysburg, Pennsylvania. Totally. I grew up
Recommend?
there.
Okay.
They have a cool carousel that, for the older, if you get on the outside, they have rings. This like arm comes out and you can lean over and try to catch the rings.
Oh, okay.
Like it's cool. It's like, and they have
Knoebels with a
interactive
K.
shows and
Let me
dude,
introduce
totally
you.
worth it.
Oh,
if you-
Clementon Park.
Let
Oh,
me
we got some
introduce
beef here,
you
Knoebels, Clementon.
to the-
Log flume, baby.
Let me introduce you to what we like to call poor Six Flags, baby. This is where we went. This is like when times were tough. You know, what I mean, we only went to Six Flags like, I mean, not every
That's what
once in a
Knoebels
blue
is.
moon. Yeah.
This is exactly the same thing.
Wasn't it Darien Lake up there? Isn't that
What's
what you
that?
guys? Darien Lake
Yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
I'm
They're
there
like,
might
we
be a
got
lot,
tubes.
or Dorney Park?
Dorney Park.
That's
Dorney Park
the
is
Six
decent.
Flags
Dorney
up
Park.
there,
Yeah,
right?
Dorney
Dorney
Park's
Park
a
was
little
fancy to
nicer
us. Yeah.
than Knoebels, but Knoebels stepped up their game. They got a couple like legit roller coasters now.
Okay.
Yeah, we were on the boardwalk yesterday. They had like real roller coasters.
They have one of
I
the
was like, oh, shit,
oldest
one
like
was serious.
wooden one. Like it's
Oh,
yeah,
very nice.
it's really cool. Yeah, it's a good time.
Did you guys have like a beater park that you went to? Did you go to like
Well, we had a fair that used to come.
you had a
around.
fair,
the
so
fair,
you just did the
yeah.
fair.
The fucking
I get
fair.
you.
at our local little? It was our local little league. It's set up in the parking lot
On
of the
field.
little league.
I mean,
you
that's how
remem-
I know the Zipper. The Zipper was the ride
So,
for us. That
so
was
this
it.
is fun because this crossover more into the comedy stand-up section. Did they have live entertainment at your fairs?
Yes.
They did. Do you remember some of the acts?
Sunny
Because
Days.
they are
Sunny Days.
really
I was a clown named Sunny Days.
wow.
Sunny days.
Yeah, D-A-Z.
Sunny day.
Yeah.
Make
had-
you
I don't know
feel
why.
fine.
I don't know why. I remember
There was a
that. He like
band. There was a
juggling and
band
shit,
show.
like,
I know there was a
he
band
didn't
show.
molest me or anything.
And
Yeah.
there were some bands like Beach Boy covers band kind of thing.
Right, because you had a beer garden probably.
Yep. And there was
Oh,
cow plop. Did you ever have cow plop?
No, I don't know what cow plop
bingo.
is.
So you put a cow in an enclosed area and you grid it off like.
Oh, right, because
and
you're
you have
from
numbers.
1940s in Oklahoma. I forgot
Yes,
about
that's
that.
right.
I forgot about
And so
that.
you bet whatever the
Sorry, no, I
spots
you mean start
are.
from the beginning. So there, you put a cow
You
in
put
a
a cow
what?
in an area. You
Okay.
an enclosed
And you
area, like a
shit, so where you
square,
shit, B9,
and
you mark
you've
off
made
B9.
it, and you make a grid with numbers.
I've heard of
This
this.
thing
and
walks around
people
shitting.
bet, and if he shits in that spot, you win money.
B9.
great.
Yo,
Isn't that great?
we had this. We had this thing. I don't even know. You definitely can't do this anymore. I don't think. We were young as shit. They had a table with like a wheel. You spin a wheel.
I knew you're- oh, I'm sorry, yes,
it's like
the dice?
dollars and no.
Oh, the
On the
dollars.
table there was a
I know what
a
you're
marking for $1, $5, $20, $50, $100, and you just put $1 on $1.
Yep.
And if it hits $1, you get $1.
We had the
If you
same
put a
one
five,
with
you get
dice.
$5.
And if you had the dice,
and we were
you bet.
just kids gambling.
That's
Just-
right. And we
just
were doing this at our
don't give a
church
fuck.
picnic. This was a church
No one gave a
function, and we're putting quarters
Dude,
on it. Yeah.
Dude, shout Joe Spagnoli. Me and this dude Joe Spagnoli, we would just go there and gamble all day long, and we're like winning money. And we were like 14, and they didn't give a fuck.
And there's
They
the
didn't-
one where there's the peel offs. You ever do that where it's like this, if you peel it off and then if it's like kind of like a scratch off, but you don't scratch, you peel. But it's the same thing. All of these firehouses and churches were allowing gambling
Oh,
to
we were
happen.
gambling our asses off.
And this one was cool because it had 3 dice. Everyone had 3 dice, and so if you put I think you could put quarters or dollars down, and if it hit like the die that had 3 of the same number, then you got triple the payout.
Damn.
And it was like really cool. We would sit there all night.
Yeah, that's what we were
gambling
doing. They
as
were just
12
they were just dishing us.
Catholics. Because again,
Right?
this
Isn't that
carnival.
crazy?
They gamble hard.
Yeah, this is
Jesus
the-
would have came in there flipping those tables.
This
Like,
is Jesus is
what are
taking
you
a bunch of
doing?
money on Mary
Jesus
later.
getting paid. Jesus
Yeah,
getting
Jesus is getting paid. That's because you got to remember, it's the Assumption. This is the Assumption Carnival, so it all comes around to the church. 3 different churches in Hamilton. It's called the Assumption Carnival. So it's around the church anyway, because they do the typically Italians or also some I think people in Spain as well. They do the like on the knees behind the Mary statue, and you have to give up. People say tithing isn't thing. Catholics do tithe in a certain
Oh, yeah,
way.
you still
You're
gotta
meant
give
to
a
go
certain
on there, and
amount
certain
every-
events you put money onto the statue as a donation to the church, and the more money, then the more money you put.
The closer you are to God.
yeah, the closer you are to God. Which is actually not. You're supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that actually.
That's how they do it. Like if you put $100,
Yeah, Catholics have done away with it. Yeah.
$5.
country. You're not really supposed to do it anymore. But anyway,
fucked
it's
up.
still in there.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's crazy. And then the money goes into the church, and no one knows how much they make.
Yes.
And it's
Oh, yeah,
very
yeah,
fun.
yeah. They don't pay
It's very
taxes on it
fun.
and shit, yeah.
Yeah, I've been a part of many of them.
I don't. Yeah, so I'm like my daughters have no concept of that now. All they care about is I get the wristband that lets them ride as many rides as they want.
yeah.
And then we let them ride and go. And now they're old enough, and there's not as many. I don't let them do the rides where like they're like trying to get me to also go. The only one I'll do is
you
the
can,
Ferris
you can
wheel.
wait at the bottom. You can wait at
I'll
the
do the
bottom.
Ferris wheel. That's
I
fine.
rode a lot of rides yesterday. Lainey, she wants me to be on rides with her now. So see, the thing is, you never say no because it's
Right.
gonna go away. Once it goes away,
Yeah,
you're
then
never.
you
yeah,
never
no,
back.
those.
You're never getting it back. So she's like, "Daddy, go." Yep, you got me. Like I'm not a roller coaster guy.
Yeah.
But she's not really a roller coaster
Big
girl.
roller coaster
so
guy. I love them.
so it's good that way. But yeah, she wants me to go, and I'm like, of course I'm gonna go because in 2 years she's gonna
Right.
be like, "Daddy, just drop us off and come back in 2 hours." Like,
Right.
Yeah.
So I was on a ton of rides yesterday. I mean, whatever it is. What it is.
it is. They're fun.
Hey
You
man,
get your motion
no.
sickness.
Sorry, I didn't.
No
mean to-
motion sickness.
It doesn't mess me up too bad. I was getting a headache though. I got a headache on what was the ride? I don't know. Well, the Tilt-A-Whirl was unreal. but I should've
Tilt-A-Whirl,
still scared,
the
but that's
whip-
not what gave me a headache.
The
but yeah, I
whip's
got
one
a
of my
headache.
favorites.
I want
got
you
it.
to take two. No, we're not doing four. Your daughter's gonna see this later in life. If you can hear this, let's do a take two. You're gonna say you rode the rides and you had a good time.
All right.
Say that
All right.
correct. You had
All
a
right, you're right. Okay, I
passionate,
gotcha.
fun time.
So she's at the age right now where she like wants me to go on rides with her.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And so of course I did it. We fucking killed it. It was amazing. It was the best thing ever. It was so good.
You don't have to
Loved
bring
every ride.
But like because she's eventually gonna say no,
That's right.
and then it's gonna go away, and I'm never gonna be asked to go
I
on
hate
another
thinking
ride.
about that, but you're right. You gotta.
Oh,
think
that's
about
that's
It's
like
gonna
that
go
is
away.
like I say that keeps me up. That keeps me amongst other things. That keeps me up at night, man. That's,
Oh, definitely. I think that just even with the nieces and nephews.
No, yeah.
Like, I'm just
Eventually
like,
they're gonna
yeah,
be like, fuck off. Like-
I'm gonna be a weird uncle, like like oh, it's
Yeah.
Uncle Neil. Like, what's going on? With
Because
that
you're gonna
weirdo?
like be different and look different, and you're different, and they're gonna be. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want that.
There'll be
You're
giant
weird.
gaps, and
Yeah.
possibly when I see them. I mean, I
Yeah.
hope not, but
They're gonna be like, you're weird.
Well,
uncles
because
here.
well,
Oh.
to your point earlier, like at the end of that conversation, if you ever have to have that conversation at the end, maybe reminiscing about those fun moments you've had would
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah.
Remember when we loved riding the Tilt-A-Whirl?
Yeah, yo, I'm telling you, the Tilt-A-Whirl is real. Do it, man. It's
Tilt-A-Whirl's the way to
scary
go.
shit. But yeah, she loves.
But those
it.
are the
Yeah.
things you want to
You're right,
remember, and
yeah.
you want to be like, oh, when I rode my first roller coaster with
Ferris
my
wheel, we
dad,
did
or the
Ferris
Ferris
wheel,
wheel,
we did-
or just tradition. Like that's what they think about. That's what I know. Even this morning, I took my daughter down to Philly with me to drop off Noah at the bus stop, and we drove right by where we went for the Liberty Bell last year, and she's like, oh, this is where we went for the Liberty Bell, and so she was reminiscing about a moment. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like you want to keep doing whatever those traditions are. So
Yeah,
know,
the
whether
moments
it's
are what
road
keep-
trips or whatever.
Recollecting those moments, those are the things that.
That's what I'm gonna.
those are
That's
the
why
things
my
that
hope
get
is
you.
for us this summer. We're gonna go on a couple road trips and then kind of start making those memories. And
Yeah. Well, it's
and
easy.
doing
You know,
that.
pictures are easy now because you have the phones. I know we're
Yeah.
just going tangents all over the place.
No, yeah.
The pictures are easy because you have the phone. Back in the day, you had to have a camera. You had to take the picture. You had to take the film.
Get
You
it
had to do all that
developed.
bullshit. And then you lost it.
And it
You
might
lost
not
the
even
album.
come
You
out.
moved. You lost the album. That picture's gone, and then it's nowhere to be found. Now you have a good backup, so you just
and
snap
then
away.
and then you put them on social media, and then your time hop reminds you every year.
yeah,
of
there you go.
whatever,
And then you just remember. And then you get sad because you look back when they were young, and you look at them now, you're like, Jesus Christ.
yeah, I thought about getting an album recently and just printing out a bunch of photos and having a hard.
I mean, old school photos
Copy
are
of
that
it,
shit.
you
They
know,
are that
that's-
shit. But it's way easier now when you just scroll.
Yeah, my daughter loves that. So like my oldest, she'll go through our phone and she'll just look at the photos, and then she'll just start random stuff. She'll be like, start talking about when we did this and that. And I have no idea why. It's because she was looking at her phone,
Oh.
found the photos on Google that says a year ago today, and she's like,
She
getting all
reminds you of
hyped
things
up.
you don't even remember, right?
Yeah,
You're
no,
like, oh my
yep.
God, that's right. We did. Oh yeah.
Yep.
You remember that? And she's like, yeah.
We had a
And you're like,
coffee
wow.
table for my dad before he moved back to Spain, and she's like, "Is this the coffee table from the shoe factory?" Because he lived in a building that had been an old shoe factory
Mm-hmm.
that had been converted into loft apartments, and so she just still remembers this. She'll just randomly remember stuff, and I'm just like, I love it because sometimes I don't think about it.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
remind you. They remind you that.
which is cool. You
Hey,
know?
before we get into pluggies, because we're kind of coming there, I guess, because you talked about kind of like Father's Day and what you want out of Father's Day, what's expected, what parent, you know, the perspectives from the kids kind of thing. We talked about some of that. What's your optimal, like, next Father's Day? What would you think would be fun for, and again, I'm bringing obviously the kids in. Let's not make like too much of a joke. Like, I want to be away from, I know you did, you know, we were messing around.
I know.
We're joking around, but yeah, what do you think a good, though? There is a good compromise. I'm thinking of Father's Day, I'm thinking like wings, we go out for wings, and then like we go something just cool. Like, I think it's cool, you think it's cool. Like, what are those blue sky things out there?
Great question. This year, we played Frisbee. My girls love to play Frisbee.
Dude.
And they would chase this thing around, and
Yeah, man.
it's got the hole in the middle so they can like stick their arm
stick
through
your
and
hand
catch
into
it.
it. That's
and
cool.
it's a little easier for them to throw. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Some
And just-
activity, yeah.
And we're outside, the sunshine, and she's making good catches. She's dropping easy catches. And it's just an experience, you know what I mean? And
You're trying to work on her form.
yeah, I'm like, no, you got to turn this way. I'm
honey,
gonna throw.
tighten
I was
up
like,
the elbow,
I was like, I'm going to
honey.
throw it, and you're going to run into it and just catch it. It's going to be very easy for you. That conversation definitely took place.
Leading.
Yeah, I'm going to lead you into it.
Leading
But
the
yeah,
scene.
that's it. And then just genuine laughter from a moment that was like real as can be.
Right.
You know, like laughing from like, you know, it's cheese, smile for the camera, or
Yeah,
like
yeah, sure.
something on TV is so much different than like we experienced something together and we're both laughing. Like that's like that hits hard. That's good.
I like to go big. I think it's just because I grew up without like a lot of this. So like I'm like, I want to go big. Like the one year we went to my daughter's birthday usually is the 16th, so it always falls close. So we went to, it was the end of the school year. We went to Disney World. It was right after like COVID started lifting. We're like, all right, let's go to Disney World. So I went to Disney World for her birthday and Father's Day, and I loved that, like, because it was just we went big. We're in the parks, like I'm getting told Happy Father's Day. She's getting told Happy Birthday. We're riding these rides. So I like to go big sometimes and be luxurious, even though, like, I know I should save, like you were saying. Sometimes, I'm like, I get some money and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna spend this money.
I mean, sure,
But
of
like,
course.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're
that's
just
what
trying to create moments,
create
like you
genuine
said,
moments, that's
which
it.
is
Just genuine moments,
and just
happiness.
have them remember some stuff and enjoy that.
Yeah, because that's what you spend money on. Those are experiences. This is what me and my buddy talk about all the time. He's like, I'll pay for an experience to share with people anytime.
Yeah.
$700 so that some chicks think I'm cool. That's a little different of a
gigantic
spend. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
nice. Yeah, I think there's wonderful that fathers should like try to do something that like it is a little bit more for the whole family. But yeah, do something that
I want to
you
go to
think your
Topgolf.
kid. Ooh, that would be
Top
great.
golf
You
is
think
the
your
shit.
girls
Do
would
you wanna
love
go
it?
Top
Yeah,
golf?
that's
Let's
a
go
good
Top golf.
idea.
It just opened in King of Prussia.
I'll go to Top Golf. No, I mean, I'm
Those are
really
good Father Day ideas. I think it's a good
good one.
planning session. I like that.
It won't be packed at all this year, Father's Day.
No, not at all.
Nah, probably not.
I think
They're
like,
probably
yeah, that-
down for
you
the
gotta
movie
book 'em
Father's
now,
Day,
yeah.
No, that's cool. Yeah, no, and I don't know, Neil. What would be when you have kids in the far future? What
Yeah,
would
like I said, I think it would just be like a fun food. Yeah, it would be like
Wings
let's
at
start.
Buffalo
Yeah, like I
Wild
mean during the
Wings.
day, it's the I guess it's one of the things I don't even think about like during. But yeah, during the day I don't expect like I guess too much. But yeah, we could go for like lunch for like wings and something fun, and then probably do some kind of activity. Would be something that we're gonna run around or have fun with. Like usually I'm like a beach
It's
guy.
like a 46-year-old guy already.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
great. I
really,
love
you're
this.
into it.
I'm like a
This is
beach
great.
guy, so we probably would do this somewhere near the beach,
He's like, I haven't really thought about it, but
yeah, I haven't thought about it.
That's
Here it
awesome.
is.
and then end up with some like carnival maybe.
Like
some
at
things.
3 o'clock,
Ice
3:30,
cream?
we go over to Buffalo.
Oh yeah, no, I would be methodical. That's how I need to plan. We all running around so much. So when you're, it's the same thing we do on stage. How many minutes we like? You're just
yeah.
like, it's like I only have so much time with you, so we need to
Yes.
actually work
Like,
in
let's go,
everything
get
we
your ass in that
can.
car, let's go, yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
that's
well,
cool.
yeah,
We ended with
I think-
ice cream at the local Handles ice cream place.
We ended with ice cream
with
yesterday.
her
That's a
parents.
good
So it was like all the
move.
grandkids and her
cooling
dad.
down. It's summertime.
He
the
got
ice
like a
cream
little.
in
He
the
got a big
parking
banana.
lot.
My father-in-law got a big old banana float.
Right.
Or banana. Yeah. The whole thing with the pineapple and
Just all of
cherry.
it.
He
Oh,
went all
shit.
out. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, nice and cool. Nice,
Good Father's Day,
There you go.
everybody. I think all around.
That's right.
Seriously, Dad?
Thank you for listening to the dads, for once. Give these daddies a break. And maybe follow, subscribe, like, and comment to the dads on Instagram and YouTube at Seriously Dad Pod. Rate and review Seriously Dad Podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Seriously, Dad?
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of Drop 10 Media Network, the network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to drop10.com to check them all out. Make sure to like, subscribe on everything that you see Drop 10 on. We appreciate it. Go to drop10.com now.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.